A. Smith is the top, regardless of what people think, is the number one, I think, sportscaster, you could argue, in the United States right now. Certainly the number one guy at ESPN. Certainly the number one guy for the NBA. And everybody anywhere knows who LeBron James is. LeBron, I think, is the third greatest player in NBA history behind Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Certainly in the last 20 years, he has been the GOAT. I mean, some people think he's number one. I don't. But I think, it's fair enough to say that we think that LeBron is one of the greatest players. And is that true, what I'm saying? We'll get back to that if we see if that's true. Give me a second here. But we're talking about LeBron. So let's go ahead and we're going to get to basketball here. But I want to get to LeBron James today. And what he said. He went on the Pat McAfee Show today. So I think that in and of itself was a shot at Stephen A. Smith. There's a Cold War going on at ESPN right now. I'm not going to go too much into that. Between who's the number one guy. If it's not Stephen A. Smith, all the things I said, it's Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, they brought him in. It's a lot of money that they're spending on him. And apparently looks like they really don't like each other that much. I'm gonna get into why this is more important, the larger issue, what I think it is here. But I wanna go ahead and go over this what these guys are going to go on full screen here. So this is Pat McAfee, the guy, the number one. I think he has the number one, maybe the number one YouTube show in sports. You could definitely say that. On there, needs no introduction with the great LeBron James. Let's go ahead, listen to them talking about Stephen A.
Yep. Which leads obviously to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift
tour
right now.
Yeah, we're watching it. We're all. Oh yeah, we're all. You're seeing it as well.
He literally. It started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like seriously, and like another, he completely missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players, and I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about it. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair and his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance. But you're right.
Dude, relax, bro. Relax. Seriously.
So that was the GOAT LeBron James talking about Stephen A. Smith here. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen that one already. I'm going to show you maybe what you haven't seen yet here. Maybe you have, but this came on right before I went on tonight, because he was talking about this. He was talking about this right before I came on tonight, the response to this. So maybe this hasn't went as viral as well. So let's go ahead and check him out here. So this is Stephen A. responding to the McAfee appearance here. And I'm just going to give it a few seconds here, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on it. All right, here's Stephen A. responding to LeBron.
Immediately. That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately. That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
I don't believe that.
That man.
That was the whole rant. I didn't want to go too over with that because that whole rant, that was Jason Whitlock right on LeBron. Called him a liar, called him a whole bunch of names, called him all this stuff. I have never seen anybody talk about LeBron James like that ever. I never ever seen it. Never seen it. So that was wild. I do want to address this. I see this in the wrestling business a lot. I watch a lot of WWE and all that, etc. There's, for those of you who don't know who Dave Meltzer is, he's a wrestling writer. He's been a wrestling writer for 30 years. He used to have the Wrestling Observer newsletter. You actually used to get it in the mail. He used to write about the wrestling business and all that, etc. And the wrestlers would get mad at him for saying certain things in the newsletter. And I see the same thing in the NBA, where not as much in the NFL, They don't really openly go at guys, like not like I see it publicly, but a lot of the players go at Stephen A for what he says look, and I know a lot of y'all don't like Stephen A and all that other stuff. That's fine. But here's where I'm a little lost at. If I'm LeBron James, right? I got a better job than the president of the United States. LeBron James is what, $50 million a year with the Lakers. He's in this long marriage, beautiful wife. He's got, the run of the Lakers. He's in Los Angeles. He's richer than God. He's like he's got all this money. What I can't understand is the same thing in the wrestling business with wrestlers and Cody and Roman. Why do they care at all what he thinks and what he says? I understand us as fans, and I think that's who it's for. But I don't, for the life of me, understand why LeBron give this any oxygen, give Stephen A any oxygen at all. Because Stephen A isn't, because he's not. I can understand what we do as fans. We want to be informed. We want to talk about the games. We want to be part of the discourse. We want to be part of the thing. But if I'm LeBron James and all that is true, why do I care at all? Like what Stephen A has ever said. And to take his time, and there was a shot in itself going on McAfee Show, as it was. That was not an accident, right? McAfee isn't even a basketball guy. I mean, he was an NFL punter. So it was intentional to go on after Stephen A went off the air to actually do the show in Indiana. After Stephen A went off the air and he couldn't respond till later and all that. So apparently they have this long-running feud now that's out in public where they don't like each other and all that, etc. So definitely check out the Stephen A rant. It's hilarious. I've never heard anybody talk about LeBron James like that. But the fact is, players get to express themselves anywhere they want. They don't have to talk to me. They don't have to talk to Stephen A. LeBron doesn't have to talk to him. He doesn't have to like him. He doesn't have to do that. I think to take it to the other side, the reporters have to understand that. Commentators have to understand that. They don't have to talk to you. They don't have to like you. They don't have to reach out. They don't have to do that. That happens to me all the time. Reach out, want to speak to somebody, they don't have to do that. So I think that's part of why Stephen A is all upset at him, because LeBron doesn't do what he wants and all that, blah, blah, blah. He had a good relationship with Michael and all that. He was hoping to have a good game. I don't know. That's totally speculative on my part. But I think there are for the life of me, the overarching thing is I don't know why LeBron would ever care what Stephen A says. I don't get it. It was funny, though. It was very entertaining on both sides. I think it's a very interesting story to see these two heavyweights, one in media and one as an athlete, actually go at it today. Wasn't expecting to talk about that. But we for sure are going to talk about this one. The Terps Getting it done. How about that? So let's go over this as well. I think we got the most video here we've ever had in Rivalry Sports here going over it. So let's talk about the games this weekend. So on the screen, the 1-point victory, Colorado State over the Terps over Colorado State, 1-point victory as well. I think let's talk about the whole weekend. Thursday, they played Grand Canyon University. I thought that was a game was well in hand. I thought that was a good opportunity for Kevin Willard to go ahead and rest players. Kevin Willard to go ahead and rest players and give his starters a chance to rest, rather, and actually play. DHS played. Jordan Geronimo played as well. That's very interesting there as well. So we'll go ahead and check that out as well. The game Saturday, I thought Colorado State and Maryland, I thought that was one of the best games I ever saw in college basketball, certainly from a Maryland Terps perspective. Back and forth as well. Both sides, I thought, played well. They both hit great shots towards the end. Something's going on with Kevin Willard. I keep seeing this on Twitter. So I don't know yet. Maybe we'll find out here at the end of the stream here. But I thought he turned the job down. I'm kind of looking at that at the same time. I thought he turned the job down as well. Something's going on with Kevin Willard. I can't even repeat this tweet. Blank Kevin Willard. Hope you break every bone in your body. What is going on, Kevin Willard? It looks like I'm going to say it out loud because I've seen it too many places now. It looks like Kevin Willard may be leaving, going to Villanova. We will see with that. So we'll get back to that. But one of the best games in college basketball I think I ever saw. I thought both sides played tremendous. You saw it at the opening where Derek Queen hit the fadeaway. That is one of the tough shots. Clark Kellogg said, if you were to shoot that jumper the way it is, going away from your body off of 1 foot and hit it, you can't hit that shot with nobody guarding you in the gym. That's how hard of a shot that is to hit, let alone the situation there as well. That is unbelievable to hit a shot like that. So I think it was one of the best shots like that. What's even cooler is what he said in the post game after that. So let's go to that real quick. Why he had so much confidence to go ahead and hit the shot in the post game. So let's go to Kevin Willard after that tremendous victory against the Rams.
There was a timeout. You said, I'm not going to say the full thing, but you said, get me the ball when he came out of the timeout. Where does that confidence come from?
I mean, so I think I'm from Baltimore. That's why.
I'm from Baltimore. That's why.
I kind of had it going all game. Man, my teammates had it going, and like I said, like they trusted me to take that last shot.
Derek Queen, phenomenal in this game. Phenomenal all season. Phenomenal in this game. Down the stretch, really came into his own. He was the one demanding the ball. Great players in that situation demand the basketball in that situation. So that's what he did. Was it traveling? Fair question. If you saw the shot, a lot of people were saying it was traveling. There's a case to be made it was. I'm not going to not say it wasn't for sure because I'm a Maryland fan. If you think Euro step is traveling, then it was traveling. But I looked at it like 15 times today. Look, he could call that when he had the ball. The first one, he had a basketball move, so you could call that not a step. If you call the Euro step not traveling yet. But he definitely took 1, 2, 3 steps. If you're calling that a travel, some people might, certainly a Colorado State fan would call it that. It was a travel. But in that situation, I kind of agree. It was so close. Game situation. I don't think they're going to call something like that in that situation. Look, and good players travel. I don't care. Michael Jordan did it for years. Kobe Bryant did those elbows for 1,000 years. People don't like hearing that, but that's true. So they did that. So shout out to the Terps. Exciting win. I didn't get to see the very end because I was actually in the car with my daughter picking her up from work. So I actually was listening to it in the car. My daughter, she was mad. Turn the music back on. No, we're not turning it back on. We're going to listen to that Terps victory. And we got a game, consequently, on the 27th. So opening day of the MLB, and you got that night, you get to watch the Terps at the Chase Center on TBS in the Sweet 16s against the Florida Gators as well. So Derek Queen is going to be playing in this game. They now call themselves the Crab Five. The outstanding starters for Maryland, Seton Miguel, Derek Queen, obviously, Jacoby Bolesky, Rodney Rice, and Julian Reese. So they are going to hit the starters. On the other side, I think maybe the guy who's going to be one of the Naismith Players of the Year, Walter Clayton, 23 points in the game against UConn, which was eliminated. Thank God, Dan Hurley, we ain't got to look at that anymore. And Will Richard is a starter for them. Alex Corden, so they score a lot of points. Very similar. They run. This is going to be back and forth. The Terps, if they want to win this game, I think you got to slow it down as good as they were. William Clayton Sr. is one of the – he reminds me so much. I've been saying it all tournament, watching him looking like Reggie Miller. Like, he's got that really quick, goofy-looking shot, but uber quick release. Like, can't get in front of him. He doesn't need much time to set up, catch it quick, shoot, set up quick like this. And he's got great foot speed, runs around guys, gets to the hole. Hops isn't awesome like a Johns at St. John's, but it was unbelievable the way he's played so far in the tournament. So big challenge for Maryland. So definitely it'll be interesting to see what's going on. I'm definitely going to check and see what's going on with Kevin Willard here, because this basically is happening here right now. But man, they are just killing him on Twitter right now. Like Kevin Willard, I hope this isn't true that he's leaving in the middle of a tournament. I hope this isn't true, whatever. But I don't know that. I can't confirm that yet. But either way, we're going to have a game. Terps are going to go ahead and play against the Florida Gators. Definitely check it out. So definitely the same day as we're starting baseball, we're going to be starting with the NCAA tournament that day as well. So definitely check that out. Rest of the tournament has been very good as well. Some people have been criticizing the tournament as well because of the lack of the Cinderella. Okay. I mean, there's been some really good games. I really enjoyed Arkansas and St. John's. That surprised me, the result of that game. Calipari getting the win. I thought St. John's really played bad. They shoot well, and they just didn't. R.J. Johns getting sat down the last section of the game by Rick Pitino in the last 5 minutes. Doesn't bother me at all. You got to make shots. Some people say you don't sit your best player. Obviously, they never played for Rick Pitino. He certainly understands that as well. I thought that was great. I thought Duke was very good both games as well. So the tournament has been fairly enjoyable. I've been more locked in too because we got a Terps team actually in the tournament. So I thought this was a good tournament. It's not for everybody. I get that. So that's why we don't necessarily always spend as much time talking NCAA tournament. But it's not for everybody. But I thought we've had some good stuff so far as well.